Usman, very warm welcome back.
Thank you.
This time around, I have a rather interesting question. Our audience would like to know what your thoughts are on this very topic. So the question for this time is, what is more important, employee engagement or employee satisfaction?
You asked a very insightful question. I believe the answer to this question is simple, but the metrics or the measuring tools we need to get it right may be very difficult. I'll try and provide a definition, or rather my interpretation of what employee engagement and employee satisfaction means, and then I will try and answer the question. So I think employee engagement measures the relationship between an employer and the employee. And that relationship starts with the understanding of how productive an employee is, how profitable an employee is, and how vested the employee is in the organization's business objectives. I do think that it's a one-sided relationship. And the moment an employee becomes unproductive for whatever reason, is the exact moment when the employer will start to see them as a liability that they need to now turn into an asset. The basic idea there is that if you stop working, then you eventually get shown the door. Now, in some respects, I see the logic in it. And I think, okay, if a certain employee isn't performing or hasn't been performing, then it makes sense to weigh benefits over burdens and decide. But I think what managers sometimes fail to see are the reasons behind the employee's lack of production. And worse, even if managers see the reasons, and let's say those reasons are some things that might be going on at the employee's home or in his or her family, they might not take the necessary actions to provide the employee the support he or she needs during that time. And unfortunately, that employee's lack of production is then seen as something causing a negative impact on the business. In contrast, employee satisfaction measures a worker's happiness with their job. The idea here is to understand if they like their job or not. And in simpler words, it measures the employee's feelings toward their jobs, if you will. Now, these are two very different measures, but they essentially have the same objective, and that is how connected the employee is to the business. Now, the engagement story, on one hand, is very compelling. For instance, I'll share with you that recent research has shown that higher engagement rates are linked to 21% higher profitability for a company. And low engagement rates cost companies around $400 billion due to an employee's poor productivity. But in my belief, I don't think that it shows or tells a complete story. Today, companies are spending a lot of time and money in creating attractive cultures, cool workspaces, and offering higher wages to keep the employee engaged. But even with all of these nice perks, the employee engagement levels are trending downward. Feeling satisfied or fulfilled does not cost a lot of money, because the idea is to respond to or provide a platform for people to nurture their intrinsic human values. Now, those intrinsic values are having a sense of purpose, having a sense of belonging, and experiencing independence. I believe that everyone pursues these values, and if they can find it at work, or if an organization can serve as a catalyst in providing these values, then we can expect to create an environment where people, employees, will feel connected and in charge of their destiny, and as a result, they will produce more.